faster, focus better, and really unlock our full potential, right? But how in the world are we supposed to do that when everything feels like it's designed to distract us? Well, that's what we're diving into. We're going to break down the Limitless model from brain coach Jim Kwik. It's basically a framework to upgrade the most powerful piece of tech you will ever own, your brain.
And it all kicked off with this one, just devastating sentence. For Jim Kwik, hearing those words from a teacher wasn't just a comment. Nope, it became a label, a limitation. And, believe it or not, it was the very thing that sparked a lifelong quest to figure out how our brains really work. So, here's the story. When he was just 5 years old, he suffered a head injury in his kindergarten classroom. And it left him with some really serious learning challenges. He struggled to focus, his memory was awful, and it took him an extra 3 years just to learn how to read. That struggle, that feeling of being broken, is what set him on this incredible mission. First, he had to figure out how to fix his own brain, and then how to help the rest of us unlock ours.
Okay, so most of us haven't gone through that kind of specific injury, right? But let's be real for a second. We all feel like our brains are a little bit broken sometimes, don't we? You know that feeling, unfocused, completely overloaded, and just plain forgetful. So what's going on? What are these modern forces that are holding back our mental performance?
Well, according to Jim Kwik, we are in a constant battle against four, get this, digital supervillains of learning. No, these aren't characters from a comic book. These are very, very real challenges, and they're being supercharged by the digital world we all live in. And they are literally robbing us of our productivity, our performance, and, our peace of mind.
All right, let's break these villains down. First up, digital deluge. It's just so much information all the time. Think about it. We're consuming more information in a single day than someone in the 15th century did in their entire lifetime. It's insane. Then you've got digital distraction. Every single ping, every notification, it's all just training our brains to lose focus. The next one is digital dementia. This is a big one. We're constantly outsourcing our memory to our phones, right? And because of that, our own mental muscles are just getting weaker and weaker. And finally, there's digital deduction. This is where we let algorithms and, all the opinions online do our critical thinking for us. We're not figuring things out on our own anymore.
But here's the thing. Here's the good news. You absolutely do not need some new fancy app or a shiny gadget to fight back against these villains. Why? Because the ultimate technology, the ultimate superpower is already inside you. It has been there the entire time.
Just look at this number. 86 billion. That is the estimated number of neurons you have fired up inside your head right this very second. We are talking about the most complex object in the known universe. And trust me, it's capable of so much more than we ever give it credit for.
So here's the most important part, the real key. Our brains are not fixed. They're not set in stone. The concept is called neuroplasticity, and it basically means our brains are incredibly, plastic. They're malleable. Every single time you learn something new, you are physically changing your brain structure. Think about that. You are literally the architect of your own mind.
And if you want proof, look no further than the famous London taxi cab study. It's amazing. To become a London cabbie, these drivers have to memorize, get this, 25,000 streets. It's a huge undertaking they call the knowledge. And what scientists found is that the part of their brain responsible for memory, the hippocampus, it physically grew bigger to handle all that information. That's real, tangible proof that your brain adapts and grows based on how you use it.
Okay, so we've got this incredible, adaptable brain sitting on our shoulders. The big question is, how do we actually put it to work? Well, that's exactly where Jim Kwik's Limitless model comes into play. It's a really simple three-part framework. Think of it as our map to unlocking all that hidden potential.
The whole model breaks down into 3 simple M's. First, you've got mindset. That's the what, as in what you believe is actually possible. It's all about your deep-seated beliefs and assumptions. Then comes motivation. That's your why. What's your purpose? What's your reason for even taking action in the first place? And finally, you have method. That's the how, the specific nuts and bolts processes you use for learning. And here's the key. To be truly limitless, you can't just have one or two. You need all 3.
Now look, mindset and motivation, those are huge topics. We could spend hours on them. But the cool thing is, we can start upgrading our brains right now with a proven method. So let's jump into a really practical tool you can start using on any learning task, like today.
And that tool is a simple acronym, FASTER. It's just a set of principles designed to make your learning way more active, more efficient, and a lot more memorable. It's all about turning that passive consumption of information into active creation.
So here's how it breaks down.
F is for forget. You got to temporarily forget what you think you already know, forget all those distractions around you, and especially forget your own perceived limits. A is for act. Learning isn't a spectator sport, right? So you got to get involved, take notes, ask questions, do something. S is for state. You have to manage your emotional state. All learning is state dependent, so if you're bored or stressed, you're not going to learn well. T is for teach. This one's a game changer. Learn with the intention of teaching it to somebody else. It forces you to understand it on a deeper level. E is for enter. Enter it into your calendar. If it's not scheduled, it's not real. What gets scheduled gets done. Simple as that. And finally, R is for review. You have to use things like spaced repetition to actively pull that information out of your brain. That's what makes it stick.
So look, becoming limitless, it's not about being perfect. Nobody's perfect. It's all about making progress, about pushing beyond what you currently think is possible for yourself. You've got the framework now, you have a new tool, and most importantly, you have all the brain power you'll ever need. So the only question left is, what limit are you going to break first?
You know, we all want to learn faster, focus better, and really unlock our full potential, right?